Avoid moving to Boynton Beach, Florida, unless you can handle these 5 negatives. You should also avoid watching the same YouTube videos over and over again, recreated by different content creators, regurgitating the same information on every channel. Trust me, I've already watched 10 videos in the preparation of making this video for you, and I'm going to compile that information in the simplest format, saving you time and helping you to arrive to a resolution. Stay tuned. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Joseph McFarlane. If you haven't already, go ahead and click the subscribe button below. Don't forget to ring the bell so you can be first to be notified whenever I drop brand new content of what it's like to live in sunny South Florida. So, the reason why you clicked on the video is because you are interested to know what the heck is so wrong with Boynton Beach, Florida. Listen, Boynton Beach is actually a great place to live. I visit there often, I have friends that live there, and I have a lot of great things to say about Boynton Beach. In fact, you can go ahead and check out some of the other videos that I've made on this exact topic. At the end of this video, click either link on the left or right hand side and you'll be taken there so you can see for yourself. But the truth is, all that glitters is not always gold. And so therefore today, we're going to deep dive into some of the negative things about Boynton Beach that you need to know about before considering to move there or visiting there. Be sure to stay tuned to the end of the video because the last reason is probably going to surprise you the most. All right, some of these reasons are going to be obvious and some of them are going to be a little bit surprise to you. The first reason that I'm going to cover right now is Boynton Beach has some very shady areas. Now, what do I mean by shady? I'm talking about questionable neighborhoods. I'm talking about neighborhoods that might be considered less than desirable. Now, I have to be very careful because I am a licensed real estate agent. I do own a real estate brokerage, and there are certain things that I can and can't say about specific neighborhoods as it pertains to code of ethics. But if you can read between the lines, one might presuppose that we are talking about neighborhoods that have high crime rates. And as a result, Boynton Beach crime rate average is substantially higher than the national average and some of the surrounding areas. A very useful website that you might want to go ahead and type into the Google search is Crime Map, where you can go ahead and you can type in the zip code or a city and search a specific time period. I suggest you go back year to date and then compare Boynton Beach, Florida with a well-known suburb nearby that is known for its safety, like Boca Raton. And you will see for yourself that the crime rate in Boynton Beach, Florida is substantially higher in all facets right across the board, and that's something that you should know about. Please do not let this deter you from coming to, visiting, or moving to Boynton Beach, because just like any major city in the United States of America, there are some good areas, and there are some questionable areas, and there are some not good areas. Boynton Beach has a lot of great areas, but they also do have a couple of pockets which you should know about. And because of that, you should beware. Okay, number 2 on our list is one of the most obvious things, and that is this. Boynton Beach, South Florida, as a whole, has extremely hot summers. I'm talking about 90 degrees, sweltering jungle heat. The moment that you walk out of your door, no exaggeration, by the time you sit in your car, turn on the engine, and start up the air conditioning, you are already sweating. Ladies, your hair just went poof. Gentlemen, you are sweating down your back. You're wearing a collared shirt, already dripping wet. This is one of the prices that you have to pay to live in paradise, to be able to go to the beach at Christmas time. Most Floridians just deal with it because they've been living here for so long and they've learned to tolerate it. But a lot of times when people come down to visit from wherever they're from, you will hear them complain about how brutal the summertime is. Not to mention, shortly after the summertime comes our notorious hurricane season. Historically, in the months of September, October, November, or when the worst hurricanes hit, Category 1 and higher. Now during those months, it may not be as hot out, but the forecast certainly does call for some adverse weather conditions. And this is something you should be mindful of if you're going to live in Boynton Beach or if you're going to be visiting during the storm season. All right, number 3 on my list is going to be the insane amount of snowbirds that visit on a regular basis. Now guys, you know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the people from up north. They're from Chicago, Canada, New York, California, wherever, and they venture down to sunny South Florida during the winter time to get out of the cold. Many of these people have a second house here. Some of these people are permanent transplants here, like me, to which you might be saying, well, hold on a second, Joe, isn't that a good thing? I mean, you're one of those people, aren't you? Yes, I am, or I was at one point in time. But here's the thing that you guys should know. When you're not listening, Floridians, we're talking about you. And what are we saying? What are they saying? Not me, but what is everyone saying? Typically, Floridians will complain about the poor driving.
You have no right to talk.
Stand down, sir.
No, I will not stand down. You will stand down.
I will not stand down.
You will stand down, or you will be working security in a retirement home in Boynton Beach.
Remain calm.
Or the obnoxious, boisterous Boston Red Sox fan.
Man, that's a lot of anger.
Can you tell that most of my clients are from New York and not Boston? Either way, and at the end of the day, when the wintertime hits in the rest of the United States of America, the majority of the snowbirds do come down and add to the ever-growing, already frustrating traffic, and at times can make things very difficult for the South Floridian locals. Now, to be quite honest, this doesn't bother me at all. A lot of these reasons are just completely subjective, but nonetheless, these are things that Floridians talk about when you're not looking. Floridians can probably be a whole lot nicer too. Just saying. Okay, number 4 on my list of things that you need to know about that are negative and that you should avoid if you're thinking about moving to Boynton Beach, and that is as follows. Most people who live in Boynton Beach and most people who live in the surrounding areas of Boynton Beach think and feel that Boynton Beach is very limited on things to do and places to go. Now, I want to specify, I'm talking about restaurants, bars, nightclubs, entertainment. Most people who live in Boynton Beach, when the weekend approaches, they will venture outside of Boynton Beach to find a little more action. That's the negative. The positive is that the action is very easy to find. Approximately 5 minutes south, you have the world famous Delray Beach Avenue, which has a plethora of restaurants, boutiques, nightclubs, cocktail lounges, beach fun, water sports, the list goes on. Just south of Delray Beach, you have Boca Raton. Just north of Boynton Beach, you have the world famous West Palm Beach, plenty to do and see as well as nightlife. And one of my favorite places in all of South Florida, approximately 20 minutes north of Boynton Beach, you have Jupiter, Florida. And so, while it is a positive that Boynton Beach is located near these really cool epicenters for fun and entertainment, and while there is still some things to do in Boynton Beach while you're living or visiting Boynton Beach, those things to do are few and far between and limited in both quantity and quality. And that's something that a lot of Boynton Beach people hope that changes in the very near future. I do too, because I would actually like to visit Boynton Beach more often, and I would. And finally, number 5 on my list of reasons that you should avoid Boynton Beach unless you can handle it is going to come at a little bit of a surprise to you. But before I tell you, if you haven't already, click the subscribe button. Don't forget to ring the bell. You'll be first to notified whenever I make brand new movies just like this one, and we'll keep you engaged, entertained, and educated. You ready? The 5th negative about Boynton Beach is the public school system. I said it.
And the truth shall set you free.
That's what it is. And there are plenty of websites on the internet that are completely free that you can visit to check the ratings and compare them to other school districts within South Florida. When you look at the Boynton Beach public school system and you rate them based on their standards that they set forth for what they call good, bad, or ugly, Boynton Beach is teeter-tottering somewhere between bad and ugly. I'm just gonna say it. Well, then what do most people do? Well, if they can, a lot of people who live in Boynton Beach, they're either doing one of 3 things. They're either taking the chance and they're sending their kids to the public school system, trusting that the system is just going to work their kid out, and when they come home, they're going to do a great job of parenting them and helping that kid to grow up to be an upstanding citizen in society. The other group of parents may elect to take their children and send them to a nearby private school, which, by the way, the private school ratings are actually very good. The third option is interesting because a lot of people who live in Boynton Beach are retired folks and their children are adults. And so therefore, the school district is not so important to them, which makes total sense because if you don't have any kids that are going to school anytime soon, then it's perfectly logical to sacrifice the higher taxes and the better A-rated schools to live in a community that's just as pretty, that's just as close to the beach than anywhere else, but for a substantially lower price. Oh, and there is a 4th option. Some people just choose to homeschool their kids. That's what my wife and I do, and that's a video for a different day. But if that reason or any of these reasons came as a surprise to you, comment below. I want to hear about it. But you'd be very surprised. A lot of people think that Boynton Beach has a great school district. They don't. And a lot of people know that Boynton Beach doesn't have the best reputation for school districts, and we can go ahead and confirm that myth has been busted. And as I said before, at the end of this video, be sure to click on either link on the left or right hand side, and you will be taken to my other videos that I created about Boynton Beach, where I talk about all of the awesome positives about Boynton Beach, Florida, and why you should consider moving there. Heads up, the list of positives are way bigger than the list of negatives. Thanks again for watching. As always, many blessings.